J.W. Oker here in central Massachusetts, in Petersham, Massachusetts, right on the edge of the Quabbin Reservoir. I'm sweating my way through the forest to find two very distinct oddities, two high-end, high-tier oddities, I would call them. Very odd things. One of them is a ghost town, which is what I'm usually looking for when I'm trekking through the forest of New England. But this is a unique ghost town. It's a ghost town that's supposed to be 150 feet underwater. And I'll get to that story here in a bit. The other oddity is a wreckage site, an airplane wreckage site from a plane about 65 years ago. So 65-year-old wreckage right in the forest where it happened. I'm a little less confident about finding that one, honestly. I know where the ghost town is, but the wreckage is something I haven't found before. So we'll see what we find. Either way, I'm gonna get more sweaty and out of breath. And the other thing is I am here with my family. My wife and 3 daughters of various ages, all under 10 years old. Not my wife, the kids. All right, looks like we're getting close to the ghost town because we're starting to see where we've seen a cellar hole on the way. All right, so welcome to the ghost town of Dana. Dana was established in 1801, and even though it's a ghost town now, it didn't have the same story as most New England ghost towns. Nothing went wrong, resources didn't dry up, no natural disasters tore it up. What happened was that in the 1930s, Dana and the surrounding towns of Enfield and Prescott and Greenwich all got tagged to be part of the Quabbin Reservoir, which was the giant 40 square mile pond, man-made pond that Boston was making so that Boston could get water. So they evacuated all these towns, including Dana, here where I'm standing. Some 2,500 people got evacuated or moved somewhere else. They tore down all the buildings and they flooded the valley. Turns out some of the spots were higher than the water level and didn't get flooded, including the very center of Dana itself, Dana Common, which is where I'm standing, which is where everything here is. Now all around the common are cellar holes from the buildings that used to be there. For instance, here. And what they've done is they've erected placards with photos from what used to be here. The church is here, a couple of residences are here. It's an intersection of 3 streets basically, just like any center of town, it's an intersection of streets. And now it's a park. It just takes 2 miles of hiking to get to on a very flat road, so not too difficult. Let's take a look at some of these placards. All right, so that cellar hole we just went to is from Dana Center School. Super weird being able to see what was there and what's there now. All right, here's the Cotton General Store back then and today. Almost 100 years later. Oh, this is a good one. This is the Johnson House. Nice place to call home. Once upon a time. This was the Dana Congregational Church. Now it's just a hole in the ground, lined with rocks. I'm going to take you to a pretty cool spot and tell you a story about it. So right around here, it's pretty much the coolest site in Dana. It actually still has a top on it, the cellar. You can go inside, an actual structure in a New England ghost town. You never come across those. Now I think this is the house of the Marcio family, which is Josephine and her husband Moses. We actually passed right on the way in a stone with their surname on it. But it's kind of a tragic story. But Moses actually shot his wife Josephine, and then killed himself and attempted a murder-suicide. He got the suicide part right, but his wife Josephine survived. And actually, she was the one who sold this house that I'm standing under to the state to flood the place for the Quabbin Reservoir. So if there is a ghost in this ghost town, it is certainly Moses's. So you can just see foundation stones of this house, whoever's house this was. Which they actually know. There's a lot of records on Dana, so if you're super interested, find out. Alright, we just left the ghost town of Dana. Now we're going to try to find this aircraft crash site out in the forest. I've got a lot less confidence we'll find this, but it's another mile and a half of walking, so don't tell my family. I think my family is starting to turn on me. They like the ghost town good enough, but this extra walking is killing the little ones. They're very mad at me. I'm making them a lot of promises though. I just wish I was more confident about finding this spot. Not sure if this is a path or not. Thought I would check it out. Ooh. I don't think this is a path.
Someone wrote on it.
Wrong way, crash this way, wrong way. 1 mile, take left. Half a mile, take left. So we've got conflicting graffiti.
Oh.
Alright, so we're using the GPS. Trying to find this path. Thinking this might be the first stroller on this path ever. Holy cow. So we finally made it to the crash site here at the Quabbin Reservoir area. It happened April 3rd, 1955. A lieutenant in the Massachusetts Air National Guard, Dewey Durrett was his name, was flying a navigational training mission in western Massachusetts when, oh, that's my baby, when snow conditions made him have to change where he was going. He ran out of fuel and crashed here. Fortunately, he ejected first, so he survived the crash. But when he ejected and came out of the clouds, he saw that he was over the Quabbin Reservoir. The remains of the plane haven't been moved since then, since 1955, so they've been here 65 years. Oops. A little hard to get to, about 3.5 mile walk through forest of varying trail types. About 1.5 miles past Dana, the ghost town. Not well marked, but definitely findable. Obviously, we pushed a stroller here, so not super impossible. I'll show you around the plane wreckage, which was an F-94 Starfire, which came into service in into the 1940s, and its first kind of wartime efforts was during the Korean War. You've seen them before. I'll flash a photo of them, but you know exactly what this kind of plane looks like. What you might not know what it looks like is what it looks like crashed in tiny pieces all over the forest floor, and that's what I'm going to show you. That's amazing. Because you can see the hole where it crashed, that it made. See the wings. Yeah, he parachuted out before it crashed. That's a good question. I don't know.
He must have passed away.
Maybe not. He was only 25 or 27 when he crashed. And that was 65 years ago? Yeah, he's probably passed away. See, this is worth all that walking, right?
I
Hold on, I'll get you on camera. This is worth all that walking, right?
No.
No, you just said kinda. Now you changed it for the camera. You can see some of the insignia on here. Literally just in the middle of nowhere. Baby walk into a ghost town. Baby walk into a ghost town. Baby walk into a ghost town.